Hello, boys and girls. We're here for our social studies lesson, our last social studies lesson of this school year. And you're gonna need the magazine, The American People. This is our last magazine. It has a bunch of children, and we're gonna open, boys and girls, to page number 8. We're gonna talk about living culture. It says customs and traditions are part of culture. Customs are ways of acting passed down from parents to children. Traditions are ways people in a group or family think and act. So these are traditions and a culture. So your traditions and your family's culture has been passing down from your great grandparents to your grandparents, and then to your parents, and then to you. And you will pass them down to your children as well. All right, here you can see these are people from another country, and over here it says customs and traditions include the foods you eat. So people from different cultures like to eat different type of foods. Sometimes you may say, "Oh, but that looks disgusting." No, it doesn't. It doesn't have to look disgusting because the way it doesn't have to be disgusting because the way it looks. Not at all. I'm sure you'll be delighted, boys and girls, by trying foods from different cultures. All right. Customs and traditions include the way you dress for special days. So sometimes, boys and girls, certain cultures include dressing in a very special way for just to do a tradition. All right. So over here we have culture includes folk tales. A folk tale is a story passed from person to person. Folk tales can show many things about a culture. They can teach lessons and show what people believe. Many cultures have folk tales about the same character. In some American Indian folk tales, Coyote is a main character. So here's Coyote. It says, in one story, Coyote brings fire. Coyote is like a dog, like a wild dog. In another, he arranges the stars. In another, he ends a time when people do not have enough food. So there are many different stories about a coyote. Alright, so I want you to share the page with me now, boys and girls, because I want to show you Anansi. And Anansi, boys and girls, has it's actually a very interesting story. As you can see, it's a spider. But Anansi, the Spider-Man. How many of you like this Spider-Man story? So probably, boys and girls, the Spider-Man story, the comic, the Spider-Man comic comes from Anansi, comes from the legend of from this spider that has the face of a person, right? It says Anansi is a character in folk tales from West Africa. Like Coyote, Anansi can be a trickster or a helper. In one story, Anansi brings rain to people. In another, he brings night. Some stories are about how Anansi created the world. So this is actually an African belief that there's a powerful spider named Anansi who is capable of bringing night, of creating the world. Can you imagine that? All right. So here we go, boys and girls. Our last page, boys and girls. We're gonna read about sharing our culture. People in different cultures have special ways of doing things. They have different celebrations. A celebration is a party or something special people do at an important time. Look at all those peoples. Can you see what they're doing? They're lighting lamps, and the lamps are floating in the sky. Many cultures have New Year celebrations. The celebration of Chinese New Year lasts for 15 days people celebrate the last night with a lantern festival. So they light their lanterns and then they release them into the air and they float away. Alright? And some of you boys and girls probably know this celebration very well. This is quinceañera. Quinceañera is a Hispanic tradition. It celebrates a girl's 15th birthday. The tradition includes a special clothes and food. Often it includes religious customs as well. So the quinceañera, which is the girl that turned 15, it's a big day. The quinces is a big day for the quinceañera. She gets to wear a special dress, and she celebrates with her family that she is becoming an adult. That's what the quinceañera celebration is all about. Now we're gonna take a look at another special celebration that we had in the month of May, and it was Cinco de Mayo. Cinco de Mayo is the same thing as May 5th. It's a tradition that celebrates Mexican culture. The celebration includes parades and special music. And here we have one more. It says many people in the Middle East celebrate Nowruz on the first day of spring. Nowruz lasts for 13 days. People decorate a table with apples, flowers, and other things that stand for spring. So this is a celebration in the Middle East. It celebrates spring. And that was it with our magazine, boys and girls. But before we put it away, I want you to focus on this Cinco de Mayo celebration. So even though it kind of celebrate also Mexico's independence, it wasn't Mexico's independence on May 5th. It was actually a big battle against the French people that Mexico had on this day, on May 5th, and they won. And that's why Cinco de Mayo stands as such an important, a special day for Mexican people. So Cinco de Mayo, oh, by the way, you need this worksheet. It's the last one on your blue packet. Cinco de Mayo. And we're going to answer a few questions about who we're going to read. Cinco de Mayo is a celebration of Mexican culture. It takes place every year on May 5th. Many people celebrate with food, music, and dancing. And it's actually a celebration. It's not only celebrated in Mexico, but it's also celebrated here in the United States, boys and girls. Many people in the United States and around the world celebrate Cinco de Mayo because Mexican culture is such a rich and beautiful culture. Many people from Mexico that live all over the world, they not only celebrate it, but they also they kind of also share their culture with many people. All right, so here we go. Let's go ahead and answer our first question. What culture does Cinco de Mayo celebrate? Do you remember? Yes, I know you do. Cinco de Mayo celebrates Mexican culture. So we're gonna write right here, Mexican culture. Is this a national holiday? No, it's a holiday from Mexico, right? Because we've been learning about national holidays. Holidays are only celebrated here in the United States, but actually Cinco de Mayo, boys and girls, is celebrated all over the world. Mexican culture. All right, here we go. What day does Cinco de Mayo take place? What day is the Cinco de Mayo? That one is pretty easy, right? Cinco de Mayo takes place on May 5th. May 5th. El 5 de Mayo toma lugar en el 5 de Mayo, right? On May 5th. That's the right answer. And our last question, boys and girls. What is one way people celebrate Cinco de Mayo? ¿Cuál es una forma en la que las personas celebran el 5 de Mayo? Here we go. If we read the last sentence, many people celebrate with food, music, and dancing. So, We're gonna choose one or maybe two. Let's see how much space we have. One way. What is one way people celebrate Cinco de Mayo? We can say people celebrate oh, and we don't have a lot of space, right? So we're only gonna put one more. With, you have to pick one. So we know that people celebrate with food, music, and dancing, but I'm going to try to put one more word over here. People celebrate with music, right? Music. People love Mexican music. People celebrate with music. So that's the one that I chose. They also celebrate with traditional Mexican food and traditional Mexican dancing. But we went for music. Alright, don't forget, boys and girls, that you can also color the sombrero and the maracas. Sombrero es un hat. Un hat. Sombrero. And the maracas. And that's it for our social studies lesson, boys and girls. Don't forget, you can color your pictures. And well, this was actually our last lesson in first grade, our last lesson together. So I can tell you how happy I am, how glad I am that I got to meet each of you. It's very, very special. And I'm going to miss you, but I hope I can see you soon. We're gonna see each other soon. And well, I wish you have a wonderful summer. Bye, boys and girls.